Welcome back to the Messianic Evangelical Bridge. I'm Stefan Sante, and today we continue Series 1, Understanding the Bridge. Now, Episode E showed us the geography shift. Episode F revealed the identity shift. Episode G uncovered the scripture shift. Now, Episode H brings us to one of the most defining moments in church history, the theology shift. How doctrine changed when the church left its original world. This is where the early church's beliefs were reshaped, not the gospel itself, but the framework around it. The earliest believers understood Jesus through the worldview of covenant, prophecy, temple symbolism, Hebrew categories, and Israel's story. The apostles taught theology inside this world. Their categories were not philosophical, they were biblical. But as the church moved westward, the interpretive world changed. By the 2nd and 3rd centuries, Gentile leaders were shaping theology through Greek philosophy and Roman legal categories. This wasn't rebellion, it was adaptation. Greek influence introduced metaphysics, essence and substance language, philosophical dualism, abstract categories for God. Roman influence introduced legal frameworks, institutional hierarchy, imperial structure, and judicial language for sin and salvation. These influences shaped how doctrine was expressed, especially doctrines about God, Christ, and salvation. As Christianity spread, theological controversies emerged, forcing the church to define what it believed. Historical sources show this clearly. You have the Trinitarian debates about Father, Son, and Spirit, the Christological debates about Jesus' nature and identity. There are heresies and corrections like adoptionism, modalism, docetism, Arianism. These debates led to councils like Nicaea in 325, Constantinople in 381, and Chalcedon in 451, where theology was formalized using Greek philosophical vocabulary. This was necessary, but it also marked a shift away from Hebrew categories. Now, the Hebrew worldview expresses theology through narrative, covenant, prophecy, lived experience. The Gentile worldview expresses theology through systems, definitions, categories, philosophical precision. Neither is wrong, but the shift changed how Christians understood the Trinity, the Incarnation, salvation, sin, holiness, the church, and the kingdom. The gospel stayed the same, but the framework changed. Early Christian writers like Justin Martyr, Irenaeus, Tertullian, they describe ongoing supernatural ministry, healing, prophecy, tongues, deliverance. But as the church institutionalized, supernatural expectation faded. Why? Well, because Roman structure replaced apostolic rhythm. Doctrine became formalized. Ministry became professionalized. And the supernatural became marginalized. This wasn't intentional. It was drift. Why does this matter for the bridge? Well, the bridge is not undoing history. It's about recovering the original theological world of Jesus and the apostles. When we return to the root, theology regains its covenant shape. Doctrine regains its narrative depth. Prophecy regains clarity. The supernatural regains normalcy. Unity between Jew and Gentile regains meaning. The bridge restores the theological world that shaped the gospel, not to replace systematic theology, but to anchor it in its original story. Now, Episode H shows us how doctrine changed when the church left its original world. Next, episode I will explore the practice shift, how worship, community, spiritual rhythm changed as the church moved from Jerusalem to Rome. Now, just like the other episodes, this episode is available in both audio and video format. Choose the one you speaks to you the best. And like always, you can find more detailed references in the Substack articles. Until next time, grafted in, growing forward.